Welcome to your daily stock market summary from MarketSnap. Hey everyone, I'm thrilled to be back with you on this first full trading day of 2026. We've got a packed show today as we dive into a fresh year of market action. The vibe on Wall Street is electric, with tech continuing to dominate headlines, mixed signals from major indexes, and some spicy developments in specific stocks. So grab your coffee, and let's break down what's moving the markets for long-term investors like us, while also touching on short-term trends that could shape our strategies. First up, let's check the pulse of the major indexes as we kick off 2026. The Dow Jones powered ahead with a solid gain of over 0.5%, showing strength in traditional sectors. The S&P 500 also edged up slightly, reflecting a broader market holding steady. However, the Nasdaq took a tiny step back, barely in the red, as tech stocks showed some mixed results. Meanwhile, the Russell 2000, representing smaller caps, outperformed with a jump of over 1%, hinting at potential rotation into undervalued names. For us long-term folks, this mixed bag suggests the market isn't fully committed to one direction yet, something to watch as we build durable portfolios. Now, zooming out to the bigger picture, the buzz around markets is still riding high on last year's momentum. 2025 was a blockbuster for stocks, with the S&P 500 posting a solid 16% gain and all major indexes finishing in the green for the third straight year. Experts are calling this a double espresso bull run, but there's a word of caution. Some analysts are warning of a potential cooldown in 2026. They're pointing to risks like high valuations in tech and possible disappointments if earnings don't meet sky-high expectations. For long-term investors, this is a reminder to diversify and not get too caught up in the hype of any single sector, no matter how hot it seems right now. Let's shift gears to the day's big winners among large-cap stocks. The semiconductor space was on fire. Micron Technology led the charge with a massive double-digit surge, fueled by rising DRAM prices and optimism around AI-driven demand. ASML also popped impressively, getting a double upgrade from analysts who see it as a hidden gem in the AI build-out. Taiwan Semiconductor and Intel weren't far behind, both posting strong gains as the chip sector rallied hard to start the year. For us long-term players, this reinforces the staying power of tech infrastructure. Chips are the backbone of AI and digital transformation, and these names could be core holdings if you're not overexposed already. On the flip side, not everyone's celebrating today. Among the large-cap losers, Palantir took a notable hit, sliding over 5%, as some investors seem to be locking in profits after a massive run last year. Salesforce and AppLovin also saw significant drops, reflecting a bit of a pullback in software and tech growth stocks. These short-term dips don't necessarily spell doom for long-term holders, but they do highlight the importance of keeping an eye on valuation risks in high-flying sectors. If you've got skin in this game, it might be a chance to reassess your position sizing. Speaking of heavy hitters, let's talk about the market movers shaking things up today. Nvidia continues to be the name on everyone's lips, edging up slightly and holding its ground as the AI juggernaut. Tesla, however, slipped a couple of percentage points after reporting a second consecutive annual decline in deliveries, losing its crown as the world's top EV maker to a Chinese rival. Micron, as we mentioned, stole the show with a standout performance. For long-term investors, these movers are a mixed signal. Nvidia's resilience is reassuring, but Tesla's struggles remind us that even giants face headwinds. It's all about balancing growth potential with real-world execution risks. Looking at the most active stocks by volume, it's no surprise Nvidia and Tesla are topping the charts, reflecting massive investor interest in these names. Intel also saw heavy trading as it rallied alongside other chip makers, while smaller players like Ondas Holdings caught attention with a sharp jump on new orders. High volume often signals short-term volatility, but for us long-term thinkers, it's a clue about where sentiment is concentrating. If you're eyeing entries or exits, these are the names to watch for liquidity and price action. Turning to the earnings front, it's a light week as we ease into 2026, but there are a few names on the radar. Resources Connection is set to report soon, though it's not a household name for most of us. Last week, we had some smaller players like Limonera and Ennis on the docket, but no major surprises to report yet. For long-term investors, earnings season is where the rubber meets the road. Fundamentals get tested, and surprises can shift narratives. Keep your calendars marked as bigger names roll out later this month.
Get exclusive AI summaries of every earnings call. No more reading hours of transcripts. Access revenue segmentation, 5-year analyst estimates, SWOT analyses, and full financial statements. Plus track upcoming earnings, dividends, and market events with MarketSnap's calendar app. Create a free account at MarketSnap.com.
Let's take a quick peek at the top large-cap performers over the past week. Axsome Therapeutics soared nearly 19%, boosted by positive FDA news on a key drug candidate. FTI Aviation also impressed with a double-digit gain, riding strong industry tailwinds. These short-term pops are exciting, but for us long-term investors, they're a reminder to dig into the fundamentals. Sudden spikes can fade if the story doesn't hold up over quarters. On the other end, the past week saw some large caps take a beating. Palantir again shows up, down nearly 9% as profit-taking continues. AppLovin and Tesla also lagged, each shedding over 7% on sector rotation and delivery woes, respectively. Short-term pain can be long-term gain if you believe in the business model, so these dips might be worth a closer look for contrarian plays. Wrapping up with a sector snapshot, industrials were the standout over the past week, gaining close to 11% as a group, perhaps a sign of rotation into cyclical plays. Communication services and healthcare, however, barely budged, showing some hesitation. For long-term portfolios, sector trends like this can guide where to overweight or trim, especially if you're looking to balance growth with stability. On the flip side, tech and basic materials were the weakest sectors over the week, with tech down nearly 3% as investors reassess lofty valuations. Basic materials also struggled, reflecting broader commodity concerns. These short-term sector moves don't dictate our long-term strategy, but they're useful for timing entries or hedging risks in overexposed areas.
MarketSnap brings everything long-term investors use daily into one clean, fast platform. Explore stock financials, SWOT analysis, valuation ratios, 5-year analyst estimates, and our intrinsic value calculator, built with real fundamentals, not hype. All in a layout that's simple to read and ridiculously fast to navigate. And when you want to talk investing, join Nexus, our community where investors share valuations, posts, and stock discussions, all connected directly to the data. Use our stock's intrinsic value calculator to run and save real valuations with no spreadsheets. Share your analysis and valuations with others in the Nexus community. Get daily market summaries in video, audio, and article formats. Track the market with our earnings, dividend, and economics calendar. Our homepage gives you a real-time market overview with interactive heat maps, top market movers, and major index performance at a glance. Track daily performances, discover the most active stocks, and analyze performance across different timeframes, from weekly to yearly trends, and see which industries are leading or lagging. It's free to create an account, with optional access to premium forward-looking data. Try it now at MarketSnap.com and invest with clarity, not noise. That's a wrap for today's stock market summary from MarketSnap. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to stick with us for daily updates and deep dive SWOT analyses to keep your investment strategy sharp. Whether you're navigating short-term turbulence or building wealth for the long haul, we've got the insights to help. See you tomorrow.